My name is Paige. 6 years ago, I lost my parents. 6 years later, my whole world had become my son, Jackson. And today, that world was being crushed all over again.
I'm sorry, Paige. Jackson hurt another child. The school can't keep him any longer.
He's only 6. It was an accident.
No parent wanted their child around him anymore.
Nobody cared about the truth. They wanted a normal child. And my son had never fit inside their idea of normal.
Mommy, did I mess up again?
He asked it so carefully, like he was already used to the whole world blaming him. No, baby. This wasn't your fault. But the second I got home, reality hit me again.
He got kicked out of school? What a shock.
Greg, can you not—
I told you. He's turning out just like his real father.
Greg, my husband. He had gone cold on me a long time ago, and he'd never had any real patience for Jackson. He slammed the door and walked out, like none of the ugliness in this house belonged to him. But I found out very quickly that this still wasn't the worst part of my day. Because that night, I found the phone he'd left behind in the bathroom. The screen lit up. A woman had texted him, "I love you." I thought maybe I could still hold myself together. Life was already bad enough. I didn't have time to fall apart over a man, too. But the second I read those messages, I stopped wanting to endure anything. "I miss you. Have you told her yet? Thanks for today." While I was drowning trying to protect my son, my husband was out there loving someone else. The next morning, "I know what you've been doing, Greg."
Oh? And what exactly do you know?
"You cheated on me."
She meant nothing. You've just never really been a wife to me.
He didn't even bother making an excuse, like he wasn't the one betraying me, like somehow I'd failed him. "What do you mean?"
You've always been hung up on Ryder. You never got over him.
Ryder, the man I loved the hardest and lost the hardest. You're right. I was never going to become what you wanted. And neither was my son. I want a divorce. The second the words left my mouth, something in me actually loosened. I went upstairs and started packing. He didn't stop me. He didn't even say sorry.
Mommy, where are we going?
Somewhere nobody knows us.
Is Greg not coming?
No. From now on, it was just us. When I said that, I was terrified. But what scared me more was what staying would do to Jackson. Then I called the only one who truly cared about me.
"Paige, stop hesitating. Start over."
Poppy, my younger sister, the only person in the world who still caught me when I fell. But before I left for good, there was one last thing I needed to do. I needed to visit someone who had disappeared from my life years ago. Before I left town, I went to 2 places. The first was my parents' grave. The second was Ryder's house.
Mommy, who used to live here?
Your dad, Ryder, the boy I fell in love with at 18. The same boy who vanished after one night with me. I should have hated him completely by then. But standing there, I realized some wounds didn't disappear just because I named them hate.
Do you think he's still in there?
No, baby. I bought a black rose because it meant an ending.
What does a black flower mean?
Strength, hope, and goodbye. I placed the flower on the doorstep, like I was finally putting a full stop to that dead love story. Come on, Jax. A few hours later, we finally reached our new home, a small town called Cinderwood. The house wasn't big, but it felt warm. Behind it stretched a whole line of woods.
Mommy, I like it here.
Me too. I really thought this might be a new beginning. The past, the old house, Ryder, I told myself I had left all of it behind me. Until that night, when I stood by the window and saw something move in the trees. It was big, fast, definitely not human. Then a wolf's howl tore through the night. I didn't know yet that what lurked in the woods wasn't just an animal. Our first full day in Cinderwood should have been about unpacking and settling in.
Mommy, are people here really not going to hate me?
He asked it quietly, but I knew it wasn't a casual question. It was a child who had been rejected too many times, trying to find out whether he was still allowed to be loved. No one's going to hate you. This place is going to be different. That was what I told him. It was also what I was desperate to believe.
Do you like the house?
I do. It's just the woods behind it. They feel strange.
Those woods run deep. Don't go near them at night.
We won't. After the call, I went out back to bring in the drying rack. In the damp soil, I saw several deep marks. They didn't look human.
Mommy, what are you looking at?
Nothing. Inside. I didn't want to scare him, but in that moment, I knew last night's howl hadn't been my imagination. Because that night, whatever was in the woods came back. Cinderwood was even quieter at night than it was during the day. So quiet, it felt like every sound was waiting for something.
Mommy, can I leave the nightlight on?
Of course. After I got Jackson to sleep, I went back to the window. The shape was there again, closer than it had been the night before. What are you? It stopped at the edge of the trees and went completely still, like it was making sure we were still there. In that moment, I wasn't just scared. I felt marked by something.
Mommy?
It's okay, baby. Just the wind. That was what I said. But I knew whatever was out there was not the wind. The next day, I finally saw another face of whatever had been watching us. The next day, I took Jackson to the park, hoping he'd forget the howl. He hung from the monkey bars, straining for the third bar.
I'm gonna make it to the third bar this time.
Slow down, baby. Don't rush. But he still fell. The second time, the third time, and then he lost it.
I hate this! I hate it here!
Oh. I was about to pull him into my arms when a deep voice came from behind me.
Calm it, pup.
Jackson actually went still, not frightened into silence, more like settled by something that somehow felt familiar to him. I turned and saw a face that froze my blood. Ryder? But the man looked at me like he had never seen me before. He had Ryder's exact face. But he said he wasn't Ryder.
Sorry, you've got the wrong guy. I'm Callan Harris.
Callan, a stranger. But Jackson reacted like he'd found someone he already knew.
Will you come play again?
Sure. As long as you stop declaring war on the monkey bus.
Jackson laughed and threw his arms around Callan.
Jax! We do not hug strangers!
It's okay. I don't mind.
I minded, especially with that face. Stranger still, the way Callan looked at Jackson wasn't the way adults usually looked at children. It looked like surprise, like recognition, like a kind of familiarity I didn't understand.
You two new in town?
Yesterday.
Then you're going to need friends.
I didn't know why, but that didn't feel like a casual line. I went home and couldn't get Callan's face out of my head. Meanwhile, Callan had already gone back to the pack.
A human woman moved into town. Her son isn't normal. He is one of us.
Callan, Ryder's long-lost twin brother. And clearly, he understood something about Jackson a lot faster than I did.
Who's the father? Don't know. The kid said his father was missing.
Ryder's expression changed instantly.
I'll kill the bastard who abandoned a shifter pup.
He said it through clenched teeth. He had no idea he was talking about himself. And on my side, I was still wondering whether I should let Callan near my son again. The next day, Callan actually showed up at my door with a ball.
Sorry to visit without informing you. I thought Jax might want to play more.
You actually came.
I said I would.
The second Jackson saw him, his whole face lit up.
Callan!
He ran too fast, nearly fell, and Callan caught him.
Easy there, buddy.
I stood in the doorway and watched them kick the ball around in the yard. The whole thing felt so wrong it made my chest ache. If Ryder had never disappeared, my son should have been smiling like this all along. And somehow the man standing there wasn't Ryder, but someone wearing his face. I suddenly decided that night I was going to ask Callan about his family. That night, I still let Callan stay for dinner.
Callan likes lasagna too.
Because this stuff is already perfect.
He was too natural. So natural it felt like he was supposed to be sitting at my table. That feeling unnerved me. It had been too long since I'd seen a man step so easily into my and Jashin's lives. Does your family live around here too?
Not really. I grew up in foster care.
Then do you have family now?
Yeah. I recently found out I had a twin brother.
The plate in my hand nearly slipped. A twin?
Yeah. He lives just outside this town.
In that moment, I could almost hear my heart split open, because I finally knew Ryder wasn't just alive. He was here. That night, I didn't sleep at all. Anger, hurt, and bitterness kept crashing over me. Ryder wasn't dead. He was alive, and I had raised our son alone. I had thought the worst thing was that we were separated by life and death. But now I realized something even crueler. He'd been alive in this world all along, while my son and I had lived 6 years without him.
Mommy, why are you still awake?
I'm thinking.
Where Ryder had been all these years. I was on my way to meet Callan. But on the other side, Callan had already started suspecting who Jackson really was.
6 years old. Blue eyes. Missing father.
Don't tell me that sounds familiar.
The man standing in front of him was Ryder.
What exactly are you saying? I'm saying the kid might be yours.
Ryder looked like he'd been struck by lightning.
No. The woman's name is Paige.
The second he heard Paige's name, everything in Ryder's face changed. He started remembering that night 6 years earlier. Clearly, that night hadn't been something he could forget, either. And I had no idea the man on the other end was already falling apart. 6 years earlier, Ryder disappeared the morning after we slept together. Only then did I learn that night had been a disaster for him too. On the night of Ryder's 18th birthday, he shifted for the first time.
I thought I was dying.
Bones, skin, and teeth had all started rebuilding themselves.
I can't go back to her. What if I hurt her?
So he ran. Not because he didn't want to stay, but because he was afraid. Later, Ron brought him into the pack. The abandonment I had hated for years turned out, on his side, to have been another kind of survival.
Paige was pregnant then?
In that moment, the pain on his face felt more real than anything I had imagined. And at that exact moment, I had already spotted a familiar back in town. The second I saw that back across the street, I knew it was him.
Ryder!
The moment he turned around, my heart almost stopped. Ryder still had the same face. Just leaner, darker, more haunted. And then, the next second, he dropped to his knees.
Breathe, Rye. Just breathe. Paige,
You're alive.
I'm sorry. You have no idea.
I had hated him for 6 years, and still, seeing him like that made me go weak. That was the cruel thing about love. But then I heard one strange word slip from his lips.
Mate.
I didn't understand that word, but I understood the look of someone losing control.
Do you need an ambulance? No, he's just not feeling well.
I didn't believe that for a second, and Ryder didn't look unwell in any normal sense of the word.
We need to get him out of here.
What the hell is happening to him?
Paige, come with us first. I'll explain.
What is this? Is he high?
Not the way you mean.
That answer finally set me off.
Really? 7 years ago. He slept with me and left me alone in that tent. After that, my life fell apart. I raised my son alone.
So stay away from me and my son. I said it and walked away. But Ryder looked at me like I had sentenced him myself. I thought saying the cruelest thing possible would end it. I was very quickly proven wrong. The next day, I took Jackson into town, and Ryder was there again, standing right in front of me.
Paige, I didn't leave you on purpose.
Enough. I don't want excuses.
Then Jackson peeked out from behind me.
Mommy, who is that?
Ryder went completely still. It was the first time he had seen his son from that close. It was also the first time he truly had to face what he had lost.
Why do you keep looking at me?
Because you look like someone I know.
And then the thing I feared most finally happened.
Do you know my dad?
In that second, the air seemed to freeze. He couldn't get a full sentence out.
Jax, come here.
Mommy?
Now.
I pulled Jackson behind me.
Don't you go near him.
Paige, I'd never hurt him.
You already did. You hurt both of us. I took Jackson and walked away. But when I glanced back, Ryder was still standing there. He watched us walk away like a father who had lost everything. But I couldn't afford to soften, because if I did, the one who could get hurt again wouldn't just be me. But Callan didn't give up. He decided to try another way in. Callan was smarter than Ryder. He knew pushing too hard would only make me take Jackson and run.
Don't push her. Then what am I supposed to do? Make her trust us. Protect Jax first.
Meanwhile, Jackson started having the same dream over and over. Jackson.
Mommy, I dreamed about the woods again.
What kind of woods?
Wolves. Lots of wolves. But I'm not scared.
I told him to